Hello and a very happy Diwali to all of you. और आज on the cusp of Diwali, आज छोटी दिवाली है तो on the cusp of Diwali we have got a firecracker news. In fact ये firecracker news जो है हम लोग कल ही announce कर चुके हैं. हमारे group sports editor K. Srinivas Rao made the announcement that he had a thought about IPL 25. That was Virat Kohli coming back as RCB skipper, and that is the big story on Beyond the Boundary on TOI Sports. And we have a full house. We have Group Sports editor K. Srinivas Rao and Manuja Virappa, our ace reporter from Bangalore, both of them joining us, and Sahil Malhotra. He's caught in Diwali traffic. He'll be joining us shortly. Welcome, gentlemen and lady. First of all, the big news, the big news is, and the entire buzz on IPL retention is that Virat Kohli might be coming back as RCB skipper. And Srini, you are the one who dropped this bomb. Kar hum अच्छा भला RCB के retention discuss कर रहे थे. There was nothing. There was just usual jokes and everything. बहुत सब कुछ normal चल रहा था. You had to do it. You had to come in between and say, अच्छा मुझे feeling आ रहा है कि विराट कोहली captain आएगा. You dropped the bomb. You started this Diwali fire. You set the boundary. You set the base. What is this news?
Obviously, I won't. I won't deny that it's not just my thought here that I expressed. It's obviously a combination of things, my thoughts plus a bit about what I was hearing. For the longest time. They have to get into this mode of rebuilding themselves. Okay, RCB.
Yeah.
Now, what is the only constant in their entire setup? The only constant is wicket, right? That is the only thing that they know that they have, and they need to build around, right? They can't. They've been blissfully ignorant about the fact about the kind of stuff that wicket alone single-handedly brings to the table. And RCB have clearly failed year in and year out, like year after year. They failed to build anything of value around what this man brings to the table. Okay, so again, year after year, they have been left with no choice but to keep on building their nucleus around him. So from that perspective, 2024 is no different, except that this time, while doing the same thing, the man himself said, "Listen, you know what? I've got these 2 years, 3 years, kind of, to get contribute at my peak, whatever I'm going to do. I might as well take the entire ownership on myself and kind of see where I can take this from a leadership standpoint." Because they've been struggling. They've been struggling year after year for a captain. And I think it all makes complete sense.
Okay, and you know what? We are doing IPL retention special on Beyond the Boundary on TO Sports. We are going to discuss a lot of teams. हम बहुत सारी teams के बारे में बात करेंगे. LSG है, KKR है, CSK है, MI है, GT. GT is bringing big news today. So we'll be talking about a lot of teams, a lot of news stories. आप जा सकते हैं TOI Sports के पेज पर, X पर, कहीं पर भी जाइए. आपको IPL से related बहुत सारी stories मिलने वाली हैं. So हम ये भी चाहेंगे कि आप हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं. जिस भी platform पे आप जुड़ रहे हो, you join us, you send in your comments, and let's start the comments rolling with Sandeep Reddy, who says that, and when he says that, it means Virat Kohli back as skipper for RCB solves a ton of problems for RCB and gives a structure to the team. So आगे पढ़ने से पहले, let's get Manuja Virappa also involved. Manuja, we were talking about yesterday, कि RCB back at Chinnsawamy, Virat Kohli leading them. What would that mean? It's getting closer to being true. Again, no official confirmation yet, but it's all the buzz. And when K. Srinivas Rao is saying that it's possible that it's going to happen, does it solve a lot of problems? And what will it do for RCB? They'll be like, like that. What will it do for RCB going into the new season, going into the auction with Virat back at the helm of affairs?
I don't know what it does, because we've seen Virat in that role for 6 seasons. So as RCB captain, 7. I'm not. You're getting my maths right there. 13 to 21.
Yeah.
13 to 20.
Yeah.
What it does, yes, like Sandeep says, it solves a lot of problems, because you're not now looking at a leader, but you look at leader materials. When you're going into the auction, when you are bound, you probably go the CSK way of investment, where you get in somebody who's say late 20s, early 30s, where he can be groomed as a captain. Your quick fix, ready-made captaincy, I don't think works here. Say
Okay.
I'm not taking anything away from Faf as a captain, but
Okay.
grooming an Indian to become a captain of RCB, I think, is the way forward for them. And who better than Virat to take up that mentorship role?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you that sentence that you've said, ki who better than Virat to mentor the next line of captaincy, or an Indian to take over the captaincy there. Let's talk about all of that. मैं उसको थोड़ा सा बैक बर्नर पे डालूंगा. अभी हम आरसीबी का देख रहे हैं कि who can be their primary picks and who can be their RTM options. Since yesterday, Mohammad Siraj and Rajat Patidar could be their RTM picks. Just before the show started, K. Srinivas Rao dropped another bomb. Let's go back to him. You said Yash Dayal, potentially Virat Kohli and Yash Dayal to be the retainers for RCB. And that is very interesting. Give us more info. Give us more lowdown on this.
Well, that is the info.
That
Virat
is
and
the info.
Yash Dayal are the two guys that
Okay.
RCB will retain.
Okay. So why? Okay, let me be first of all to say this. When we say primary picks and RTM options, these come with an asterisk. This is our information. This is our understanding what could happen. ये जो Will Jacks और Glenn Maxwell मैंने आज add करवाए हैं primary picks में. We will also talk about that. But first we need to look at the story. I would request the producer to bring on the story which was on TOI today with RCB coming with Virat Kohli coming back as skipper. What is the nitty gritty of the story? Let's take a look at that. And also, since Manuja mentioned that, we will also take a look at Virat Kohli as captain of RCB. What do the statistics really tell us? Where can he take RCB in his second coming? So we'll just wait for the story to come on screen as well as the statistics. But look, Manuja and Srini, 2013 to 2021, there is one runners up which came in 2016. Uske alawa, there were 3 times where RCB made into the playoffs. As far as my memory serves, I think 2 बार mega auction हुआ था when Virat was captain. And if he again becomes captain, he is going to be presiding over a 3rd mega auction. How are we looking towards, like you said, Manuja, let's come to you first. You want to build it up with an Indian core. We discussed the Indian core. There are names like KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant and the RTM options. They need a lot of players. What will be RCB's strategy if Virat takes over, looking ahead to the mega auction, and then looking back at the record, which has been, let me be very honest, it has been an okay sort of a record. It's not been anything great to write home about.
Yeah, but also, Sahil, what we have to, Chetan, what we have to factor in here is in that period, Virat also had the backing of people like Chris Gale and AB de Villiers. He shared a comfort factor with Vittori. So a lot of things came as a package for him. If he's looking at captaincy now, it's going to be an entirely different ball game in terms of a leadership group that he'll need to build. I mean, even if I'm saying hypothetically, I'm saying you let go of Faf, you keep Williamson, I mean, sorry, Maxwell, you have very little in terms of leadership. So if you are going to build, you're going to build it like a proper team. Wherever you go, you have your juniors, you have your mid-level, and then you have your seniors. So in terms of building a team, it's going to be very different from what they've done all these years.
Okay. Srini, your thoughts on this? I mean, it has not been, aapne news story break ki. I want you to tell me what is the logical reasoning that, okay, let's take this comment. Because हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे viewers भी इसमें participate करें और उनके questions और उनके thoughts भी हम लें और उस पे थोड़ा सा logic लगाएं. सुहेल अहमद कहते हैं, there is chance Virat will be leading RCB with no extra baggage. That's an interesting point. Earlier, he stepped down as he was the national skipper, and there is no additional duty as captain this time around. So that is what Suhail says. What do you have to say about this? What is Virat thinking? What could he be thinking? Yes, there is no additional responsibility as national skipper. T20 World Cup भी उस बार जिता दिया, फाइनल में अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया. There was question mark about his performance during the tournament, but final में when we needed our big player, he came out and he performed. So we are having some issue with the graphics today, but this is the story that has been broken. Virat Kohli set to return as RCB skipper. So we'll be taking these one by one. But let's go back to Srini first. Srini, what would be Virat's thinking here? What is he thinking here? He has the T20 World Cup, batting form across formats, maybe a little up and down. What is he thinking?
See, I mean, what Sohail is saying makes perfect sense to me. I agree with him because at the end of the day, you're looking at an absolute pressure-free scenario. This he was never in this scenario. He was never in a situation like this over the last decade. Over the last since when did he take over? He first took over in 2013, right?
13.
So between
Yeah.
2013 and 21, he's never actually kind of been in this kind of a comfort zone where kind of there is no added pressure. I'll give you a small example. Like for example, at
Yeah.
RCB, whatever he decides, whether he decides to open, whether he decides to come at number three, whatever he decides to do at RCB, there was always this conjecture in terms of what he was planning as an India player. Like if he was planning to open at RCB, you
Hmm.
immediately kind of it began to reflect. The conversation began to reflect in terms of what his Team India priorities were going to be. Would he be opening for Team India? What would he be doing there? Like so, every move that he did, that he made as a franchise, somewhere was in the shadow of the larger decision making that was at play. This one time,
Okay.
he has no such pressures to kind of cater to. He's his own man. Whatever he
Hmm.
does, he can plan it from a 2 to 3 year window standpoint and keep it,
Okay.
keep that thought process limited only to that ecosystem that he's catering to right now. I think he's in a good
Okay.
position to be. I mean, to kind of come back and take the leadership role.
Okay. That makes sense कि as Suhail Ahmed said कि आप बिल्कुल mindset अपना free करके आ रहे हो. There is no baggage. I mean, if a player like Virat Kohli carries baggage, that means a lot. But yes, he's a human after all. So he's not carrying any baggage. He's coming into the IPL free from any burdens. Coming in, just thinking about RCB captaincy, not thinking about anything else. In terms of batting, in terms of his runs for RCB, he has really nothing to prove, really. Let's take a few more comments because thanks to all of you for sending comments. I'm not sure we can take all comments, but we'll take the few ones and we will try and answer your questions and take as many as possible. Just give us a bit of time. Indra Narayan saying, if Virat takes the captaincy back, will RCB also go for KL as wicket-keeper batter only? Okay, Manuja, I'm coming to you here now because RCB, we know, depending on how many they retain, and we're looking at, maybe two retentions, maybe three, and then RTM a few of the Indian players. Now, the buzz that has been on our show, on Times of India, on social media, and has been reported at other outlets as well. KL Rahul is probably in the auction. They might approach KL Rahul. They have been targeting KL Rahul. Rishabh Pant, he might be in the auction. And the hot buzz is RCB want to go for him. So you mentioned कि आप चाहेंगे कि एक विराट लेकर कप्तान लेकर आप बनाना चाहेंगे एक इंडियन कोर. So you get players like KL, you get players like Rishabh, you get the Indian bowlers in, you get a Patidar in, Mahipal Lomror, he's been doing well in domestic circuit. He's a very useful all-round player. So you develop this Indian core. Is this going to be the new direction for RCB? Virat as captain, but like Srini said, over the next 2-3 years, you develop this Indian core.
Absolutely, because one thing is we have to factor in the Andy Flower factor now. Unlike
Yeah, okay.
earlier, you don't have national affinities here, which comes into the auction. Earlier, we had RCB went very New Zealand heavy. There were times when they've gone Australia heavy, owing to different factors. Answering
Totally.
Indra Narayan's question here, will RCB go for KL as wicketkeeper batsman? I'm not entirely sure. This I'm basing it completely on his fitness levels. He's
Okay.
had a run with fitness. He is quite fragile these days. So would you want to risk him as a wicketkeeper batsman? No. Will you play him as a specialist batsman? I'll stick my neck out and say, if am I at any point of time decide to let go of Ishan Kishan,
Oh
he'll
yeah.
be a great option for RCB.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. And
they
yeah.
will be something, but I'll stick my neck out for Ishan Kishan as your wicket keeper, youngster. Can go the distance with the franchisee if you choose to stay with him.
Okay. I saw Srini smiling. Srini, you
Yeah.
wanna add something to that? Ishan Kishan to RCB if he enters the auction pool.
Yeah.
Well, for any of that to happen, he has to come out of the MI ecosystem. MI will go the whole hog. If at all they are not, I'm still a 50-50 on whether they'll retain, whether Ishan or Tilak will be their fifth retention. Please remember that the captain of Mumbai Indians loves Ishan, so it's not very easy to see.
Yeah.
So either he will be the fifth retention or he'll be their RTM option.
Okay. So now you're talking about the keeper batter for for RCB. इसमें ऋषभ पंत का एंगल भी है. When you go into the auction, you have a list of players you want to target. Number 1 आपका कौन है, number 2 आपका कौन है, number 3 आपका कौन है. Let's assume KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan, all three are in the auction. Then I would suggest they will first target Rishabh Pant, then go for an Ishan Kishan or a KL Rahul. So they'll have their preferences set accordingly. तो उसके हिसाब से आप चलते हैं. Here is the story where Sahil Malhotra is writing about Virat's return. Set to return, aims to fulfill the leadership gap post Faf du Plessis tenure. यहाँ पर रमा देवी जो है उन्होंने एक सवाल पूछा है, is this a bad decision to not retain Faf? इस पे हमने कल बात की थी कि he's scoring runs everywhere and he is 40, he's going to be 40 plus. I see him playing at least for the next 2-3 years easily. लेकिन आप रिटेन नहीं करोगे. Maybe you can RTM, but again if you are RTMing then he's not going to be captain. लेकिन आप रिटेन नहीं करोगे 18, 14, 11 CR पे. Yes, Srini, go ahead.
See, listen, there's a bit of logic also that kind of needs to butt in here.
Yeah.
So if you're looking like at guys like Rishabh or KL, okay, let's be very clear about it. They're not the first names to go on an India T20 list, are they? They're
Yeah.
not. Neither of them, neither Rishabh nor KL. They are huge, big names in their own right as India cricketers. Of course, Rishabh, an all-format player in a sense, and obviously in one of India's MVPs when it comes to red ball. So a big name, but then purely by virtue of playing T20 cricket, they are not the automatic choices in a squad. So let's look at we're talking about a squad like RCB, okay? Why would an RCB be desperate to pick a KL or a Rishabh? They would be desperate to pick a guy like him if they were in need of a brand, a big name, in order to attract sponsors, etc. Okay. Now here are guys who are not exactly setting the stage on fire where T20 cricket is concerned, and as far as getting a brand itself is concerned, they already have the biggest brand in cricket, right?
Okay.
So they really
Let's.
don't need to worry about it. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah. But we also have to build a
there's
team.
a reason why I'm trying to say this. Is that okay? If I have to fill in a slot, I might go in, but beyond the price, I'm not going to go in because this brand is going to get me something extraordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from that standpoint, yes, RCB will go for a KL Rahul or a Rishabh, but beyond the point, I don't see any logic.
Okay.
There's going
But
to be a threshold.
जैसा मैंने कहा कि आपको सिर्फ ब्रांडिंग पे ध्यान नहीं देना है, आपको एक टीम भी बनानी है. RCB have to break a duck which has been going on since 2008. So you would
मैं वही
want to
कह रहा था कि अगर आप मैं वही कह रहा था कि if you were to look at it from a team building standpoint, then it doesn't really make so much sense to go after these guys. That's what I was kind of coming.
Okay. Let's take a few more. Let's take a few more comments, and because this is going to be an RCB special, and then I'm also going to discuss about the Maxwell situation and all. This is where RCB standing was, after Kohli's captaincy debut, 2013 May, fifth out of 9 teams, and then you went on overall on a run. आप देखिए second in 2016 when he scored those 900 runs, and there's a couple of other times, in fact 3 other times when Virat Kohli took them to the playoffs. और जहां पे स्टार लगा हुआ है, those are the 2 years where we had mega auctions where Virat Kohli was in charge of RCB's auction strategy. We know he's had an input on RCB's auction strategy forever, but when you're captain, you're pretty much helping out with the team, helping out with the picking the players, and there's a little bit more blame to go around, if we can say so. Manuja, let's go back to the. I'll ask the producer to put on the RCB retainer graphic once again. The reason why I'm saying this is, हमने देखा है all through those years we had big names in RCB team. We had AB de Villiers and the Chris Gales. He always wanted to pack. Then Glenn Maxwell also came along. He always wanted to pack the RCB batting lineup. आपको बैटिंग हैवी होना ही है, सुपरस्टार हैवी होना ही है. चलो सुपरस्टार वाला लॉजिक आप 1 मिनट के लिए साइड रख दो, लेकिन आपको बैटिंग हैवी जाना ही है. RCB's go-to strategy at the Chinnsawamy has been, let's go batting heavy. Cameron Green is a big name, but again, there is a fitness question mark against him. So, this is my punt. This is my personal punt that with Virat Kohli back as captain, we could see RCB retaining or RTMing Will Jacks and Glenn Maxwell. You get the explosive batters, plus you get spin options as well. What do you think?
I put my money on Will Jacks.
You put your money on Will Jacks. Okay. Maybe not both, at least one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably been one of RCB's best investments over the years, because we've seen many who've come and gone, but Will Jacks, I think, has been a very good investment. Glenn Maxwell, blows hot and cold all the time, comes out with a thanda bat at one point of time, and then, he comes and gives you those 2 good overs. Consistency has been a huge factor with Maxwell over the last few seasons. Yes, last season he didn't get as much opportunity as he would have liked, but Maxwell for me is still a little iffy.
Okay. Maybe one of the two, but I definitely see something like this happening. Again, you have to go big with your batting, and that has been a hallmark of Virat's captaincy at RCB. Srini is smiling because he still thinks that that's not going to happen. We'll get more comments from Noor Ahmed ka comment lete hain. Let's take a few more comments. Noor Ahmed says RCB uncapped retain Anuj Rawat. Well, that's an interesting one because we are hearing Yash Dayal, but Anuj Rawat, we talked about him. He's an investment in the keeper category. So as a backup for the likes of one of Rishabh Pant or a KL Rahul or an Ishan Kishan. Otherwise, they could just say, you know what, Anuj Rawat will be our, he's our homegrown player and he is going to be our mainline keeper. I mean, RCB can do that. Srini, you want to add anything to that?
As I said, I've already kind of mentioned who my 2 picks are for RCB. I don't see them. See, my mind is locked. My mind is locked, so I really can't, kind of. So I see RCB going big on RTM. I see RCB going big on RTM at the auction to figure out whether they can get a Glenn Maxwell back or they can get a Will Jacks back. But retaining, I don't see that as an option. Uncapped may Yash Dayal fits the bill perfectly for them. And that's it. Around, other than Virat Kohli, they're not going to retain.
Okay, Ragnar says best source on IPL retention. We thank you. We're grateful that you're joining us. Please keep joining us. The comment that he's making is no point in retaining Green, always injured, and aging Maxwell. देखिए, आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कि अगर वो फिटनेस क्वेश्चन मार्क नहीं होता कैमरन ग्रीन पर, I would have seen them retaining Cameron Green. They were not able to utilize him properly with Will Jacks and Glenn Maxwell as there. Faf du Plessis as well there. So they were not probably able to utilize him properly. Now, in this new structure, they might have. You never know. If he comes back this season, we don't know. If he's entering the auction, we don't know. If he's coming back next year for the mini auction, we don't know. So from that perspective, I thought Will Jacks and Glenn Maxwell, they can go for young Aussie sensations like Aaron Hardy and Gain Eager. I'm sure they'll have their eye on them, as will other franchisees as well. Let's get a few more comments in here. Will Jacks and Cameron Green says, Narayan S. Let's take his comment. He's more CSK than RCB as he's close to MSD, who may play only one more year. Well, Narayanan, we've discussed this yesterday when MSD's news broke. MSD is signing on for a few years. उन्होंने ये कहा है कि मैं कुछ साल खेलना चाहता हूँ. I want to enjoy like a school kid, enjoy my cricket in the last few years. But again, एक बार आप ऑक्शन में आ जाते हो ना, then Rishabh Pant doesn't get to decide whether he goes to CSK or RCB. That's where auction dynamics take over. So although I agree with you, let's see what more comments do we have. Why not Ashwin as captain? I think that's a little off track, but who knows? Maybe we'll see Ashwin as captain at some point. I think he did lead Punjab Kings as a vice captain at some stage. I'm not sure. I may be mistaken. Let's see. Uh, uh, let's see. Okay, we'll discuss this in terms of the bowling attack. A comment tha bowling attack per. I'm not able to see that comment here. One of the weaknesses, Srini, where RCB have really struggled over the years, has been their bowling attack, and that is also somewhere that Virat's captaincy comes under the spotlight. Because aap dekho, 2013 to 2021, if you've been captain for this long term period, bowling has been a bit of a chronic deficiency for them, especially their death bowling. So again, the spotlight is on Virat to say, okay, you know what? This is your second coming. Improve the bowling attack. That has to be one of the spotlights. Here we go. Siraj, Dayal, Indian pacers like Bhuvi and Mohit, yes, they might be released. They might be in the auction. Overseas bowlers, Bold, Stark, Archer, etc. Yes, all of them might be in there as well. Spinners, Chahal might be. We have discussed this. Chahal might be in the auction once again. And then you have Ashwin and Kuldeep if he's not retained, and looks like he might not be retained. In fact, it looks like he will be retained as Sahil Malhotra joins us. But what the point here by Vedant is कि आपके साथ बहुत सारे options रहने वाले हैं. Srini, that has got to be one of the key things Virat and Andy Flower and Mo Bapat, they will all think about. कि this needs to be done. Get good bowlers. Improve the bowling attack for once. Srini, can you hear me?
Well, yeah, it's all very nice to hear, but some of the things. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
Am I audible? Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, some of the things these guys have done over the last couple of years, I didn't see any logic attached to it. Like, for example, letting go of Yasmin Chahal ahead of the last mega auction.
Yeah.
I mean, I've still
Yeah.
not been able to come to terms with it. I still haven't been able to understand what was the great thinking that RCB was up to in terms of letting him go, and they immediately suffered the consequences for it. And and so the decisions like these, overspending at an auction, then kind of letting go of players, or I don't know. I mean, year after year,
Okay, Srini, we seem to be losing Srini because he's probably stuck in traffic, and today is a day to be stuck in traffic. Kyunki Sahil Malhotra, our race reporter, he's also stuck in traffic. Srini, I'm taking on to the next question here. We will connect with you once you're back in proper internet. Are you back?
I
Can you
I
hear me
am. I
properly?
am. Can you hear me? I'll just complete what I was saying.
Go on. Yeah, please go
I'm
on.
able to hear you.
Go ahead.
So for once, I'm actually convinced that RCB is doing the right thing by kind of completely putting the ball in Virat's court and saying, "Let's begin afresh."
Okay.
Now let's see where they go with this.
Let's see where they go with this. Yes, KC Creations. It would have been great to have your name, but you're saying KC Creations. KL Rahul, homecoming RCB. He will do well, whether irrespective of whoever captains. And I think I agree to a point. KL Rahul, 20 when he left, I think it was 2016 season ke baad when he left RCB. I had interviewed him, and he said, I would have loved to stay at RCB. It didn't work out, as things can sometimes not work out. But he also said that he would love to go back to RCB someday, and he has unfinished business. Now, like I said, it's a day of being stuck in traffic, but we are grateful to have Sahil Malhotra. At the same time, साहिल मल्होत्रा मस्ट बी, मतलब आज तो मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरी एक फोन कॉल हुई थी साहिल मल्होत्रा के साथ, एंड ही वाज लाइक, मैं तो सांस नहीं ले पा रहा हूं, बिकॉज ही इज सच अ बिग आरसीबी फैन, ही इज सच अ बिग विराट कोहली फैन, एंड आई एम श्योर ही रिप्रेजेंट्स अ लॉट ऑफ विराट कोहली एंड आरसीबी फैंस जो सांस नहीं ले पा रहे होंगे, and not entirely because of the pollution. Sahil, go ahead, tell us, as a reporter first of all, and then as a Virat Kohli fan, and then as an RCB fan, and then a combination of all, like, what is your feeling about this?
No, before I let the fan inside me kick in the
Yeah.
thoughts, it's important to understand what's at play here.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were discussing when KSR stirred that pot and he's
Yeah.
responsible. He's responsible for stirring that pot. Let me put it on record. But when due diligence was done after that, one thing was very clear that RCB were still not convinced about the leadership vacuum. यार अभी मतलब हम लोग कल बात कर रहे हैं, परसों बात कर रहे हैं. They want Rishabh, they want KL, they probably want the entire world, but auction dynamics are not in their hand. So they don't
Yeah.
really want to go into an auction by not having a leadership group in place or a leadership person in place. Matlab, who do you build the team around? And you just can't take that punt right now because these are very important 3 years for every franchise, and especially for franchises like Delhi Capitals, RCB, and Punjab Kings. You know, it's high time you kind of break that duck, as we've been talking about. And RCB have been on the receiving end of a lot of criticism for getting their strategies wrong. And for once, when speaking around and snooping around happened, it was kind of it was थोड़ा conviction आया कि चलो एटलीस्ट इस बार थॉट तो है कि कुछ सोच तो रहे हैं कि कैसे करना है और किसको रिटेन करना है. तो you'll have Virat Kohli there, and he'll probably be assembling that core. But for once, I was listening to the show when you were talking, Chetan. You said कि बैट्समैन को असेंबल करो, ये करो. But I think for once they should get rid of that policy of going heavy on batting. I think Andy Flower during that press conference after the eliminator which they lost to Rajasthan Royals, he clearly mentioned that you need smarter bowlers to bowl at Chinnsawamy. So
Okay.
I for once look at a situation where RCB will be smarter with their bowling options. I don't trust their I don't trust. Should I say that? I don't trust their scouts and
Yes, you
analysts
should. Yes,
to
you
do
should.
that.
You
I,
should.
I don't trust their. I don't trust.
Say that.
I don't trust their scouts or analysts to do that. I think Andy Flower has the spine to call those shots at RCB, and I think Manuja was also mentioning. I was listening to her कि पहले सारे ऑस्ट्रेलियन भर दिए, फिर सारे न्यूजीलैंड भर दिए. एंडी फ्लावर के साथ वो इशू नहीं रहने वाला है. मतलब बहुत
Okay.
प्रैक्टिकल कोच लगता है मेरे को. सो मुझे लग रहा है जिस तरीके से यश दयाल का आपने एवोल्यूशन देखा एट आरसीबी, I see kind of RCB being very smarter with their bowling options.
Okay.
So
Let's
I
hope.
hope.
Let's hope. No, no.
Sai, you were
Let's hope.
talking about
Yeah.
bowlers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm trying to now remember there was this boy called Avinash Manas that they Manhas. I think that's his name.
Absolute Avinash Manas, JNK bowler. Manuja, I'll send you his videos. I got his latest videos. He's being coached by Atul Gaikwad, the most qualified cricket coach in the country. And I was speaking to Atul Bhai last week, and हम fast bowlers का बात कर रहे थे. उन्होंने मेरे को वीडियो भेजा. What clean action! And Atul Gaikwad has been working a lot with Avinash Manas. He's still clocking 150 seamlessly. But he made a
Wow.
very valid point. That most teams are kind of now. I wouldn't use the word exploiting. I would say they are like tiring these fast bowlers out by making them bowling in the nets for 2 months. ये 2 महीना नेट में बॉल डालते हैं, मैच सिमुलेशन नहीं मिलता. बट अविनाश मनास को बाद एक और बॉलर है, क्योंकि आरसीबी मजा बड़ा आता है. हिंटरलैंड स्काउटिंग मेरे को बोला गया था. हिमांशु सिंह करके एक लेग स्पिनर खोज के लाए थे ये लोग. वो मुझे नहीं पता कहां से आया, क्यों आया, पर वो आरसीबी के लिए खेला. या
Okay, so
राजस्थान.
again, okay. Shubham Goyal says RCB should retain VK, Siraj, Rajat, and Yash. We'll see. I don't think they think that Siraj and Rajat are worth 18 and 14, etc., etc. Let's get this comment again. We need more of our local players who could analyze the pitch and give better results. अब इस बात पे मैं आपको क्या बोलूं, because Chinnsawamy, the pitch stays the same, and I was speaking to one of the ex-cricketers there who's been part of the selection committee at KSCA as well, and he says, you know what, आप 2 महीने के लिए आते हो IPL खेलने, and you can't just dictate how to change the pitch. You know, Manuja, let's get your thoughts on this as well. आप सिर्फ ऐसे dictate नहीं कर सकते हो और एकदम से आप पिच चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो. You can't get a spin friendly wicket or you can't get a pace friendly wicket. जो चिन्नास्वामी की पिच का नेचर है वो नेचर है और वो रहेगा. And an IPL team can't just come in and dictate that in 2 months. That is going to be an issue for RCB because they're playing at Chinnsawamy. And every year the IPL happens, we look up the stats कि आप 200 रन बनाते हो, because this is mind blowing. आप जब भी T20 क्रिकेट में 200 रन बनाओगे, 9 out of 10 times you end up winning. But with RCB, at Chinnsawamy, it is still 50-50. This is mind-blowing. There's a 50% chance you're still going to lose despite scoring 200. 200 is not par at Chinnsawamy. So Sahil was talking about कि hopefully they will improve their bowling this year. और मैं मतलब anybody for that matter ये कह सकता है कि आप जैसे ही आरसीबी का bowling attack देख लोगे आप बता सकते हो whether they will win or not, whether they will do well or they will not do well. So how do you balance this, Manuja, where the pitch is what it is, Chinnsawamy is what it is, and then RCB is what they are?
See, this whole concept of a compact ground, Chinnsawamy is not a compact ground. You know, it's very nice to use that term. It's maybe a few meters less than say a Wankhede. One. The other thing, Sahil, a lot of the pitch changed after the sub-air system came in place. Because once they rebuild the entire surface, it doesn't hold as much moisture as it used to earlier. So it is different, but it is what it is. That's your home ground and live with it. And it's always been batting friendly. We also know it's spin friendly. But you've not been able to assemble a line of bowlers who suit your requirement. Top of the hat, I can remember Chahal. Chahal knew how to bowl on those surfaces. You also had a Anil Kumble, you had a Vinay Kumar, you also had Srinath Arvind. All these people were also accustomed to the place. But then again, you're also playing an equal number of matches away, no?
Yeah, but RCB have a different story altogether. But look, Manuja, you're here, I'm here, Sahil is here. We'll be here throughout the IPL as well, and we'll see where this go. We'll be here on auction day as well. मैं जैसे कह रहा हूँ ना, last year also when the auction happened, I think Sahil and I have done now 3 auctions together, and every time I tell him, looking at RCB's bowling attack, what is really going to happen, and Sahil is not going to accept that, but I'll again tell him we'll be here on auction day. Let's take this comment. For example, they need bowler who is capable of bowling under pressure and according to situation. Well, we've discussed whether Chahal can come back or not. We'll see what happens there. Depends on what Rajasthan does.
There, Chetan, there is this Vidwat Kavirappa.
Yeah.
Okay. Homeboy was coming cheap. Who didn't even lift a paddle for him? So, I mean, it's really, you have so many brain fade moments during an auction that is not funny.
That's in batting as well. Abhinav Manohar, we were talking about Abhinav Manohar yesterday. Let's see what happens. The Karnataka Maharaja League happened this year. Let's see if RCB really go into it and think about it and see what they saw there or what they didn't see there. I'll also say this. I was at the Sher Punjab League doing commentary there, and we saw every team. We had 10 scouts throughout the tournament, and I hope in their home league, RCB were doing more scouting than ever. Because, you know, these tournaments are feeder tournaments to the IPL. Sahil, your thoughts on this? Shubham Goyal says, Siraj for 14 CR, Rajat for 11 CR is a fair deal. Do you really think it's a fair deal? Mohammad Siraj at 9 and over economy. Fair deal at 14 crores? No.
I think he should be released. He's not ideal for a Chinnsawamy track for sure. Yeah. The dimensions of the ground, he's not ideal. I'm not suggesting that it's a small ground, but the ball comes nicely onto the bat. हल्का सा wicket पे help नहीं हुआ, ये सिर्फ dance करता है. But अभी मेरा पता है, मेरा दिल नहीं मान रहा retention discuss करने के लिए. मैं कल रात से सिर्फ एक ही बात सोच रहा हूँ, विराट कोहली का. हम धोनी का इतना बात करते हैं, धोनी definitely not, थल्ला for a reason. But Virat Kohli returning as RCB captain could well be one of the biggest stories of the IPL. यार. There is a lot of unfinished. No. I'm saying कि मतलब आप इतिहास याद रखेगा यार कि ये कप्तानी करने वापस आया था और ये टाइटल लेकर चला गया. सोचो, such a nice ring to it कि ये कप्तानी छोड़ा 2021 he left captaincy, and we all know that you know the situation in which he left Indian captaincy was not very ideal, right? There is that sense of unfinished business. I'm not comparing formats, nationalities, it's all different, but I'm saying अभी कहानी में twist था, कहानी बाकी.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right कि कहानी में twist है और कहानी में और मोड़ आने बाकी हैं. And I can see where Sahil Malhotra, who is a self-professed Virat fan, RCB fan, वो feeling कहाँ से आ रही है वो मुझे दिख रहा है. आयुष कुमार का comment देख लो, Virat King is back. We had a comment इससे पहले भी, RCB. Let me be very honest. There is no fan base like the RCB fan base. जितना उन्होंने suffer किया है without a trophy in hand, and still be as passionate as they are. And I think, what? Let's be honest. IPL is not just about the cricketers alone and the franchisees alone. It's also about the fans. And I think RCB fans. Let's be very honest here, yaar. RCB fans have added something to the IPL. And it's my friend. I'll just give you an example. My friend, he was saying, uska beta or beti, they are twins. They're big Virat Kohli fans. And they're like, we want to watch the match, and how do we go and watch it at Firozshah Kotla? And I was like, you know what? If you really want to give your kids that experience of Virat Kohli and watch an IPL game, go to Chinnsawamy, go to Bengaluru, make that trip, and just soak in the atmosphere where Virat Kohli leads out RCB onto the field and the Chinnsawamy goes wild. So let's be very honest, the RCB fans have become synonymous with the IPL, and I think they are one of the best fans around. Despite the fact that sometimes they can they can make some really stupid arguments.
But Sahil, I'll tell you, I watched CSK play at home as a spectator.
Yeah.
Really, RCB fans come a close second in terms of the vibe. Maybe they have one of the best DJs in town playing at Max Stadium. But the at the field in Chepauk, being a Bangalorean, I'll tell you, I felt the vibe better at Chepauk.
Okay, there's breaking news coming in. There's breaking news coming in, and let me just say, there's breaking news coming in. RCB has just put up 9 minutes ago a puzzle on their Instagram page. Our retentions are hidden in this puzzle. I'm trying our producers. I'm trying for our producers to get this puzzle, ताकि हम इसको live on air solve करने की कोशिश करें. I'm trying to get this puzzle on air. Let's see if we can. I'm just requesting them, but there's a puzzle on board, and I'm also requesting some of our viewers, please go to their Instagram page. If you can solve that puzzle, help us out in terms of what their retentions might be. Let me try. Somebody has found Virat, Maxwell, Siraj, Rajat, Faf, and Dayal. I'm very surprised if all of them would be. I can find Yash Dayal. I have found Yash Dayal, and I have found Maxwell as well. And I have found Maxwell as well. I found Maxwell and I found Yash Dayal. And let me see if and Virat is somewhere there as well for sure. Let me see. Okay, I'm still requesting the producers if they can. I found Maxwell and I found Yash Dayal for sure. Okay, Maxwell is in the first.
I found Rajat. I found Jax, Green.
Okay. Where is Jax? Can you tell me? Oh yes, I found Jax as well.
Yeah.
I found I found Jax as well. So I found
names. Green.
Maxwell, Yash, and Will Jax. I have found. Yeah. Manuja, have you found something?
Okay, then there is Siraj as well.
Okay. Yeah, I found Rajat as well. I found Rajat Patidar as well. I found Rajat. Okay.
On the left side.
Okay, I found Siraj as well. Yeah. How is that possible? Or is that the RTM talking? They might go in for RTM. How they found so many names?
Even वो भी 6 से ऊपर नहीं हो सकता चेतन. Total 6 रखना है आप.
Yeah. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, so let's see what happens. अभी तक हमने जो नाम find out किए हैं, they are Maxwell, Rajat, and Will Jax and Yash Dayal, and somebody said Siraj as well. But Virat मेरे को नहीं दिखाया उसमें, which is really weird. Srinivas Rao is joining us back. Let's come back to the show. Let's see if we can. Okay, this is a question. Let's move on to the other teams as well. We'll come back to RCB if it's possible. Rudra Paul is asking this question. If I reduce money from a capped player and give it to an uncapped player, will it deduct that extra money from my main purse? Okay, समझ आया ये question? reduce money from a capped player. यानी आप 18 की जगह किसी को 10 पे दे रहे हो and give it to the uncapped player. लेकिन आप uncapped player को 4 CR के ऊपर नहीं दे सकते.
और अगर आप 18 की जगह 10 दे रहे हो, आपके पर्स से 18 ही कटेगा.
आपके पर्स से 18 ही कटेगा. So yes, Rudrapal, I hope that's answered your question. Okay, we'll talk about RCB if we have more time, but let's move on to the next team. The big news is let's close this RCB discussion with this topic. If King wants his kingdom, VP peasants will be the happiest, and I think that really just sums it up for
I
RCB,
think
right?
Virat is going to request people not to call him king. Says he feels uncomfortable about it.
Okay, but they'll still not stop. They'll still not stop. He is only for a reason. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Let's take Gujarat Titans. Let's go with Gujarat Titans क्योंकि आज we'll talk about RR as well. Okay, here it is. Before we go there, here it is. So you see Maxwell there. You see Rajat ऊपर वाले line में. And then you see Will Jacks somewhere. You see Siraj in the second last column. You see
Chetan, what's the anchor text to this crossword? ऊपर anchor text पढ़ के बताना एक बार. I can't really see.
Retentions are hidden in this puzzle. Guess how many of them are true? सिर्फ
True.
नाम नहीं ढूंढना है. How many of them are true as well?
सब डाल दिए इसके अंदर और बोल रहे हैं कि पकड़ो आप. तो चहल भी all time retention डाल दो ना.
No, but they put in the names at least. अगर आपको बात करनी है तो आप यश दयाल, जैक्स, मैक्सवेल, सिराज, इनमें यही बातें हम भी कर रहे हैं. Okay, time to move on. Let's move on. Let's go to the next story that Sahil Malhotra has broken again. It's relating to Gujarat Titans, and it's the big news is Shubman Gill is not their first retainer. He is their second retainer. He's taken the second retention that is at 14 CR, and the big news is Rashid Khan, I'm assuming, is their first retention. Let's go. Sahil, set the stage for this one.
No, I think Shubman has kind of made a leadership statement of sorts, agreeing to take that pay cut. And from what I've heard, the only reason him taking that move was he wanted GT to retain as many players as possible from their core, and go into the mega auction by not burning a hole in their pocket. And right now, the indications are that they may retain 4 to 5 players, a couple of uncapped players in the mix too. Sai Sudarshan, Rahul Tewatia, Shahrukh Khan, as we were discussing yesterday, the person notorious to set auctions on fire. So Sai Sudarshan, I think Sai Sudarshan has been taking rapid strides there since that TNPL season, the first TNPL season. So don't be surprised if he's there as one of their bigger picks. And Shubman Gill, अब वो लीडरशिप मोल्ड में आ गया यार. उसको कप्तानी दिख रही है. बीसीसीआई ने स्टेटमेंट दिया उसको वाइस कैप्टन बना के ओडीआई और टी20 के अंदर. ही पिप्ड हार्दिक फॉर द ओडीआई के वाइस कैप्टनसी थे. टी20 वाइस कैप्टनसी भी सूर्या के बाद उन्होंने शुभमन को दिया. They have an eye on him as the potential leader. I wouldn't read too much into his first season as captain क्योंकि Hardik wasn't there, Shami wasn't there. They messed up their auction with bowling signings, but he's one to keep an eye on for future. And the only reason why he agreed to that pay cut or kind of proposed that was the fact that he wanted G2 to retain as many players as possible.
Okay, let's have that graphic for the Gujarat Titans potential retention. ये हमने कल discuss किया था. Let's have that. So we have Rashid Khan there, we have Shubman Gill, and of course this was from yesterday. Beg your pardon. This was from yesterday. The roles seem to have reversed. Rashid Khan on top, Shubman Gill second. Sai Sudarshan comes in at number 3, and here we bring in K. Srinivas Rao once again. Srini, your thoughts on this?
Rashid Khan, Shubman Gill number 2, Sai Sudarshan number 3, Rahul Tewatia number 4, Shahrukh Khan number 5, Abhinav Manohar is the uncapped.
Okay, so Abhinav Manohar is uncapped. You have Tewatia uncapped, and who was उससे पहले आपने किसका नाम लिया था?
Shahrukh Khan.
Again, they're retaining Tewatia and Shahrukh Khan. And
so that's 3 uncapped for them, right? That's 3 uncapped for them, which they can very well do.
Yeah. But they don't have a choice. They won't let go.
Yeah, they won't let go. Why would they let go? And you know what? Abhinav Manohar, we've been talking about, such a power hitter, man. Such a power hitter. Let's also talk about the fact that Sai Sudarshan. What do you think of that, Srini? He's really taking big strides. Abhi India A ke tour pe bhi hai, and I see a big future for this youngster.
Easily a $2 million player. Easily a $2 million at minimum. At minimum, he's a $2 million player in the office. at a minimum.
INR.
Sorry,
Okay, that's
I'm
basically you're
I'm
looking
saying
at
at
around
a
11,
minimum,
11 to
at a
12 CR,
minimum
around.
in a mega auction, at a minimum he's around 12 to 14 crore ka player. Size udhar se.
Okay,
Priceless
okay,
boys. Uh,
and then
yeah.
yeah,
By the way,
and
let
as a
me just complete this. Let me just complete this.
yeah,
Remember that this is not the CVC management that is going to be sitting at the auction table. Just remember,
yeah,
this is a completely
okay,
new Gujarat Titans management that is going to be completely new Gujarat Titans management that is going to be sitting at the auction table. The Mehta family
hmm,
from Ahmedabad, absolutely mad cricket lovers. They are like
hmm,
kind of the Torrent group, as we might know, the Torrent Pharma, Torrent Energy. They are kind of coming as a majority stakeholders in the franchise, and from what I'm hearing, they are serious fans of the players who are part of the current setup. So they will try to. I mean, I was talking to someone. We were generally discussing that the owners were feeling that it's unfortunate that they can only retain 4+2 or 5+1, and there are not other choices available. Because if they were, then they would have gone ahead for more. But given the choices, what I told you, the names, those are going to be the retentions, and they are very happy with it.
okay, okay. So let's move on to the next team. KKR is the other side that has been in the conversation since yesterday. Let's bring that and let's get to Sahil
Before my
again. You
network goes away,
okay?
I thought, can you take Delhi Capitals first? I'll just
Okay, let's take
quickly
Delhi
wrap up
Capitals
with
first.
Delhi also.
Let's take Delhi Capitals first because I have a feeling
So
Srinivas is about
Delhi,
to drop. He's about to drop
yeah, so
another
Delhi
bomb.
Capitals, Stubbs, Abhishek Porel, Aksar Patel, and Khalil. They are the four retentions.
Khalil, not even Kuldeep Yadav in there, and not Fraser
No,
McGurk.
no, no, sorry. Kuldeep Yadav, not Khalil. Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep
Kuldeep. Okay.
Yadav, Aksar Patel, Stubbs, and what was the fourth name I said?
Abhishek Purel.
Abhishek Porel.
Abhishek Purel. But
Yeah, these are the four retentions.
Fraser McGurk has been such a big influence for them last season, and they
All
might
of
want to let
them
him.
great options, but these are the four retentions.
Okay, four retentions for Delhi Capitals. Once again, we'll go with that. It's Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Abhishek Porel, and Tristan Stubbs. So that gives them three capped and one uncapped, if I'm not mistaken. And my thing is, you're letting go of James Fraser McGurk. Am I seeing Ricky Ponting connect here? He would want to go in the auction, and Ricky Ponting going hammer and tongs for Fraser McGurk at Punjab.
Don't be surprised if he does, yeah. Prabh Singh and Jake Fraser McGurk is going to be an explosive combination at top of the
Oh
order.
yes,
Uh, but
yeah.
but uh, but Tristan Stubbs, I think, makes sense. He has taken
Hmm.
matlab, rapid strides forward, and last year he did the difficult job for Delhi, scoring the runs in the death overs, and at that strike rate which he scored, and the consistency at which he scored
Hmm.
those runs. There was a time when
Hmm.
you were talking about Stubbs and Dewald Brevis in the same breath, right? But Stubbs has
Yeah.
just taken off. He has just taken off, and he has
Okay.
elevated his game several notches. अभी टेस्ट
Hmm.
100 भी शायद मारा उसने. So makes sense now that you don't have Rishabh Pant in the middle order. Tristan
Hmm.
Stubbs is going to be your key, holding that middle order together going forward.
Okay, and one name which we don't have in the RTM options is Mitchell Marsh. This is some another player that they could look at. But here's a question for all three of you. और ये क्वेश्चन हमने कल बात किया था कि केकेआर अगर श्रेयस अय्यर को रिलीज कर देंगे तो कैप्टन किसको बनाएंगे. Let's talk about this. ऋषभ पंत को आप रिलीज कर दोगे तो कैप्टन किसको बनाओगे. Let's start with you Sahil and then Srini and then Manuja. What is DC
Aksar,
thinking here? Akshar
Aksar,
Patel as captain. Okay, okay,
Aksar,
okay.
Aksar is the option if they don't get Shreyas at the option.
If they don't get Shreyas in the auction, okay, that could be their strategy. Srini, go ahead.
Yeah, Sahil is
You're
right.
Sahil.
Sahil is right.
Let's
They'll go for shares at the auction. If they can't get shares, then we'll go for Aksar.
okay. That is the thing. And Manuja, do you think this is the right strategy? Because again, auction dynamics, anything could happen really. KKR could go for an RTM. We don't know. We'll discuss KKR what's going to happen there. Let's say they go for an RTM. There are other sides who are also looking for a captain. I mean, uh, anything could happen there with respect to Shreyas. This, Punjab Kings, they might be looking for a captain as well. What do you think?
Rishabh
What
Pant.
other options? Rishabh Pant. Go for an
Rishabh
RTM for
Pant.
Rishabh Pant. Manuja, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think, see, your options are between an RTM for Pant and trusting Akshar Patel with captaincy, unless until you're going something really fancy and big. That said, I think Shreyas Iyer, if released, like they suggest from KKR, he's going to move many things at the auction table this time. But yeah,
Okay.
I would go with actually Rishabh Pant.
Okay. Okay. They will go back to Rishabh Pant, you're saying, in the auction.
Yeah, yeah.
If the Shreyas Iyer, but again, uh, the keeper का जो वो निकलता है पर्स जो बैग होता है, I think that is opened later and the batter
Much
is
later.
opened first. Or is it according to the base price? Again, I'm a little hazy on that. Sahil,
No, you have you
yes,
have you
start.
have
Yes,
grouping. You have
you're
groupings as
grouping.
marquee batters, marquee bowlers, marquee keepers,
Okay.
all rounders, and then there's a draw of what comes first, whether that's a batter or a bowler or a keeper. So वो अलग
Okay.
अलग बीसीसीआई ऑफिस बियरर आके वो पर्ची में से निकालता है, तो पता चलता है लॉट कौन सा आएगा.
Okay, but again, that's the thing. Now you can't really play with the auction dynamics. What if Rishabh
नो
Pant
बट
comes before?
अभी चेतन इसके अंदर जो की पार्ट हम मिस कर रहे हैं इन प्लेयर्स का हु आर सो कॉन्फिडेंट गोइंग इनटू द ऑक्शन, क्योंकि इनको अश्योरेंसेस मिल रहे हैं फ्रेंचाइजेस से. वो अश्योरेंसेस आप पहले कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते थे, बट नाउ विद द ट्वीक्ड आरटीएम कार्ड वेयर यू गेट दैट ऑप्शन टू इन्फ्लेट द बिड इवन फर्दर. I think that is why these players are so confident right now going into the auction pool, because we have seen
Okay.
stories in the past जहाँ पे प्लेयर्स चले जाते हैं कि यार हम तो 14-15 करोड़ आराम से लपेट लेंगे, वो 3-4 पे धक्के खा रहे होते हैं ऑक्शन में. तो अब वो नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अब वो आरटीएम कार्ड हैज गिवन देम दैट एश्योरेंस, जहाँ पे आपको पता है यार कि अगर इतना नहीं तो इतना तो हो ही जाएगा. सो यू आर इन अ पोजीशन टू
Okay.
गेट
That's
अ
a very
बेटर
interesting
डील आउट
point.
ऑफ इट.
Oh, that's a very interesting point. कि वो जो extra आप step ले सकते हो final bid पर, if there's an RTM card, that will just inflate the price. For example, a Shreyas Iyer, if he's going for 10 CR, a Delhi Capitals can say, okay, you know what, we're putting 13 CR on the table, and then it's back to KKR whether they want to go ahead to 13 CR, take that jump from 10 CR to 13 CR in one go and match that. Okay, यहाँ पर Delhi Capitals की हम बात कर रहे हैं. I want to talk a bit about Rishabh Pant. The fact, and it's related to the RCB story with Virat Kohli there as captain. Let's assume, and we talked about this, he wants captaincy, right? How do the auction dynamics become for Rishabh Pant now? Because again, Punjab Kings are looking for a captain. Ricky Ponting is a big fan of Rishabh Pant. Could we see Punjab Kings and RCB going hammer and tongs for Rishabh Pant? Punjab Kings, मेरे दिमाग में तो यही आ रहा है कि if not RCB, Punjab Kings go hammer and tong for Rishabh Pant, and they have really nothing to lose. Srini is nodding his head. Let's go to Srini first.
Yeah, that's
Unmute.
exactly what is going to happen. Punjab is
That's
going to
exactly.
go after Rishabh. They've decided whether the Rishabh is decided or not. I don't know. But Punjab is
I mean,
decided.
okay,
They
Punjab has
want
decided.
him as captain. They want
Okay,
him as
bomb
captain.
after bomb, bomb after bomb from Kesh Srinivas Rao. He's named आज कल कैप्टन बना दिया विराट को दोबारा. आज डीसी के रिटेंशंस बता दिए और
I'll
ऑप्शन स्टार्ट बता दिए.
quickly. I'll need to kind of log out. So
Okay, any more bombs?
we'll quickly. KKR. They're remaining,
KKR.
right?
We'll take KKR. Okay, we'll take KKR and go back to Punjab. Let's take KKR. Let's take KKR. And there was a comment also, Srini. Let's take that comment. Okay.
So
Thanks for
Sunil
your.
Narine.
No, wait. Just let me take the Sunil Narayan, Rinku Singh. Okay, you go ahead first. Yeah.
Sunil Narine is their number one retention. Andre
Okay.
Russell is their number two retention. Rinku Singh is their number three retention. And Ramandeep Singh is someone they will retain. And Harshit
Okay.
Rana is their uncapped retention. So you are missing
Okay.
one player. I think last when I heard they had still not closed in between Iyer and that Chakravarti.
What about
They
Rinku?
had still not closed between the two of them. Rinku is there,
What
na?
about
So I told you, na, Russell and Nareen is number one. Russell is
Okay.
number two. Rinku is number three.
Harshit, four. Oh, you said Ramandeep.
Ramandeep is going to be retained. Ramandeep will be
Okay.
retained. Harshit
And
Rana will be their uncapped retention. So
okay.
one more slot is remaining. They will close that between Iyer and Chakravarti. Tomorrow I'll confirm it.
Okay, tomorrow we'll be having more bombs. कल तो दिवाली का दिन है, तो we'll have more bombs then. But if you need to go, Srini, thank you so much for joining us and dropping so many bombs.
Thanks.
You want to add
Thanks.
something? Okay,
No,
thank you.
that's
That
about
was
it. I
Group
look
Sports.
forward to joining tomorrow.
Okay, K.
Thanks.
Srinivas Rao, Group Sports Editor at TOI. Bombs pe bombs, bombs pe bombs. So he's given us KKR retentions. Let's
Diwali for Srini to drop bombs.
Yeah, good Diwali for Srini, right? Dipankar Jyoti keh rahe hain, KKR retentions for now, Sunil Narayan, Rinku, Varun, Harshit and Ramandeep. But what Srini is saying, we have Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, Rinku, Raman, Harshit, and then they are deciding. So they're going with 6. Manuja and Sahil. Okay, let's get your thoughts on that.
For me, the most exciting amongst all of them is Ramandeep.
Okay, yes, absolutely. I agree.
And KKR should take a lot of pride in shaping Ramandeep and keep him with them. I think the rest of their this thing is quite a no-brainer. Sunil Narayan, they're not going to let go of Russell any which ways. Rinku Singh for Harshit Rana, Ramandeep. Then it's like you only left with Varun Chakravarti and Shreyas Iyer, one amongst them. Probably,
Okay, okay.
they also, yeah.
Okay,
You can't think.
Sahil. Okay, sorry Manuja, internet lag. Sahil, यहाँ पर मैं ये कहूँगा कि what this gives us confirmation is Shreyas Iyer is going back to the players auction, and that means DC can go. And we have Priyanshu saying I see Iyer at DC, Pant at Punjab, KL at RCB. That could very well happen, Priyanshu. And then my namesake Chetan. This is not me commenting, by the way. My namesake says, can we see Shreyas at DC reunion? Yes, we can absolutely see. Shreyas and DC reunion, but stranger things have happened. We'll quickly take Punjab Kings as the closing discussion point for today, because we were talking about Rishabh Pant and how that could define the strategy for Punjab Kings. I think Shashank Singh is somebody that they could look to retain. Arshdeep, it's a no-brainer. And then Harpreet Brar, who's their local guy. They really like him. A really good spinner. Sher Punjab mein, they had a lot of players. You have a lot of powerful hitters, good spinners. They could look back at Sher Punjab this year and say they can select a playing 11 from that, and that could compete. That could really compete. Let me tell you, so much talent in Punjab at the moment. Sahil, if this is how the structure is, what have you heard with Punjab and Rishabh Pant targeting Rishabh Pant as skipper? It's a feasible strategy. It's a very feasible strategy.
No, it is. But again, like, who do you build your squad around? That's the biggest problem, na yaar. अगर आप बिना कप्तान के auction पे जा रहे हो, no, but there's no guarantee that you'll get Rishabh Pant at the auction, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what's that center? जैसे compass हम रखते हैं center पे और गोला बनाते हैं. आपका center ही missing है. So all these sides, they'll kind of find it very difficult. यार, अभी KKR का हम retention देख रहे हैं. कप्तान कौन है इसमें? रिंकू सिंह कैप्टेंसी करेगा. KKR were the only franchise who advocated for even 8 RTM cards. They wanted 8 RTM cards. Now they're in a position because they haven't done those. I wouldn't say negotiations, but they haven't kept their captain happy. यार, छोड़ दिया उसने. जाओ अपने टीम बनाओ, अब कराओ. अब आंड्रे रसल करेगा कप्तानी, सुनील नारायण करेगा, या रिंकू सिंह तो कैप्टेंसी करते नहीं. Has made it very clear.
You said Nitish Rana.
I said Nitish Rana RTM, but now they're not leaving too many options for RTM also, na? You're exhausting all your retainers. Yeah, and coming to Punjab, I'm not really sure whether Arshdeep is as straightforward as it sounds. Arshdeep भी मुझे सीधा नहीं लग रहा है इतना. अभी सबको पैसा चाहिए बॉस. SRH ने सबका गेम खराब कर दिया 23 करोड़ दिखा के.
Okay, but again, we'll have to wait and watch whether it's actually factually correct. He's gotten 23 crore or not. Let's wait for that.
I think Vijay Tagore did that story for Crickbuzz today also, where he confirmed that it's 23 crores. So I think that's what changed the game to a certain extent. यार, मतलब अर्शदीप अब कहेगा कि भाई मैं भी 15-20 करोड़ रुपए हूँ, मैं भी पर्पल कैप.
Fair. And let's take this comment on this. Ramapriya are saying, do you think Arshdeep is worth at 18? They can RTM him for much lesser value. और यही मेगा ऑक्शन का डायनामिक रहता है कि आपको इतने inflated value नहीं दिखेंगे. Let's go back to the last mega auction. Ishan Kishan with 15.5 crores. Okay, that was the top pick, and then Shreyas Iyer was around 12.5 or 13, something like that in that bracket. So these two were the major, and I think it was Deepak Chahar at around 10. My point is, आपको इतना inflated नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है, आप उस पर्स को adjust कर लो. This time you have a purse of 120 CR, but Sahil is talking about 23 CR for Klaasen. There is no way an Arshdeep or Shreyas Iyer commands that price. Do you really think, Manuja, Arshdeep going to the auction commands an 18 CR? यहाँ पे 18 CR आपको retain करते ही मिल रहा है.
I think retention is on the cards for him. Why I'm saying this is who are you going to retain otherwise? In terms of your big names, because you're not going to retain Rabada, you're not going to retain Bairstow, you're not going to retain Livingstone, but crazy things happen at the auction.
You are retaining Preeti Zinta. That's enough for them.
That's a true point. But again, Priyanshu's comment here is even Klaasen won't fetch 23 crores at the auction, and I think there's some way, a lot of truth to that. We'll take just one final comment. YSRCP, who's that?
Okay, I won't be surprised if Arshdeep goes back into the auction pool. I won't be surprised if RCB go all out for him.
Okay, this is a comment that I wholeheartedly agree with. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. The IPL begins when we see Preeti Zinta on the screen. Like RCB fans, she brings a big element to the IPL as well. Yash Kumar कह रहे हैं more chances of Pant coming into PBKS and leading the side. I think that's and just we'll take one final comment from Sanjay. He says, don't you think 22 CR for Arshdeep and Shashank is a fair value, irrespective of what they pay each one? And I'll be very honest. I think that's a fair value. I would say that's a fair value because Arshdeep, again, आपको थोड़ा बहुत तो आपको अपना base भी बनाना है. I think Arshdeep is somebody who commands a lot of that fan base in that part of the country. So and Shashank is a great player. So in terms of what he provided for them, so I think that's pretty good, irrespective of what they pay. Yes, they will probably not pay 18 CR to Arshdeep, even if they pay 12, 14, and unka 18 crore katega, and then 4 CR for Shashank, even if they don't pay 4 CR to Shashank. So one final comment from Ronak. He says Chakravarti over Iyer any day. I think KKR management बिल्कुल आपकी बात से सहमत हैं. We are seeing Iyer going back to the players auction, but what we'll do is
I think he's mentioning he or she. They're mentioning about Venkatesh Iyer because Shreyas Iyer is a foregone conclusion.
Oh yeah, Venkatesh Iyer. How could I forget the other Iyer? Yes, how could I forget the other Iyer? Manuja, your thoughts? Is that a fair call? Chakravarti over Venkatesh Iyer?
I'll go with Venkatesh Iyer.
You would go with Venkatesh Iyer. Sahil?
Chakravarti is getting up on which day?
Okay, and Sahil?
No, I'll go with Varun Chakravarti because I know for a fact they'll get Nitish Rana somehow. So
okay. They'll get back Nitish Rana somehow. One last comment, because this is a player which has just flown under the radar for everyone. Vedant Kumar. Can Marcus Stoinis fill the gap of Maxi or Cameron Green? And I think that's another player that RCB will be keeping an eye out for, क्योंकि हमने LSG के जितने भी नाम सुने हैं उसमें Marcus Stoinis का नाम कहीं नहीं है. They might keep a RTM card handy for him. Sahil, you want to take this?
Marcus Stoinis again यार कौन सी बेट की साइड पे उठता है. अपने दिन पे बहुत बड़ा प्लेयर है, बट जब नहीं चलता तो बर्डन लगता है यार. सो अभी RTM छोड़ो. अभी मतलब इनको थोड़ा रियलिटी चेक दो इन ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्लेयर्स को ना. थोड़ा बहुत हमने हवा में चढ़ा दिया. मिशेल मार्श, मार्कस स्टॉइनस, ग्लेन मैक्सवेल, इनको हमने पता नहीं क्या बना दिया. हमारा रमनदीप इनसे बेटर आपको ROI दे रहे हैं यार. सो इनको थोड़ा नीचे उतारना पड़ेगा.
No, fair point. Manuja, any thoughts on this? Do you agree? नीचे उतारो.
No, I completely agree. Stoinis for me is not somebody who can come in for Maxwell or Green because he doesn't offer you the variety Cameron Green offers. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we will wind up the show. We've had some really interesting comments from everyone, from our viewers, of course. K. Srinivas Rao dropping a couple of another bombs. I mean, he gave us KKR ka retention. You can check the YouTube channel once again. We'll have short clips of the show there. KKR retention, DC retention, Akshay Patel, Kuldeep, Abhishek Porel, Tristan Stubbs, and then for KKR you had Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, Rinku, Ramandeep. They're going full bag. They're taking six RTMs with 3 uncapped players in there. And then Rishabh Pant, 2 Punjab Kings, a real possibility. They'll go hammer and tongs, Shreyas Iyer back to DC. And of course, Virat Kohli back to RCB, potentially as the skipper. We discussed a lot about them as well. We'll be back tomorrow again with the IPL special. थोड़ा बहुत टेस्ट मैच के बारे में भी बात करेंगे. कल दिवाली है, कल आएंगे वापस 6:30 बजे. जुड़िएगा हमारे साथ दोबारा से. खूब सारे पटाखे दोबारा बजाएंगे. K. Srinivas Rao with his bombs, and we'll also छोटे बहुत सुतली बम हम भी जला लेंगे. क्यों साहिल? क्यों मनुजा? Right? With that,
Yes.
thanks to you guys, Sahil, Manuja, and thanks to our viewers. Very happy Diwali to all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow 6:30 p.m. on Beyond the Boundary. Thank you.